very many.
Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
I think we're finally live and we're back, guys.
Yes, we are back.
It's been a while
Hey.
since we've been live, so take us a minute to get back in
To
the
get
swing of
adjusted.
everything. Yeah,
I see Jim Steele has
Jim
joined us.
Steele and Bill.
We've got Park Rat.
Paparazzi. We got Park Rat Pat, Las Vegas Urban Treasure Hunter Robert. I see people
Papa
are
Roos.
starting to pop in.
Yeah.
Papa Roos.
So thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yep.
And my cuz, Shannon Dalton.
Yes,
that's right.
Shannon.
There's David Alfonsetti. Welcome.
David.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We're back.
We're back.
Oh,
Back
I
in-
didn't tell you who won the big prize Wednesday night.
No,
No.
tell us.
That would be the one and only Jim Steele.
Oh,
Jim
congratulations, Jim
Awesome.
Steele.
I see Olin Borden. Has
Hey,
joined us.
Olin.
Welcome,
Thanks for
Olin.
joining us.
We've got a special guest tonight. I'm sure everyone knows Don from Swamp Rat
Yep.
Nation. So
Hey, Tri Valley.
everyone that's coming in, you know us. Start hashtagging just like you see it there on the screen.
Hey, Lisa.
SRN and get in on the giveaway tonight.
Yes.
Absolutely. So if you're just joining, hashtag SRN. I'll leave that up there for a minute.
Yes.
I've got to jump into a couple of mail calls real quick. First one comes from Mary
Why don't you
Monarch.
take that
Yeah,
down
let
so
me
they
take
can
this down.
see.
And
Hey, Lauren.
I'm going to make myself like this. She sent us a bunch more of her stickers.
Marty.
Autism
Hello.
Magnet Fishing. And we want to thank you, Mary, for the stickers and the note.
Yes, thank you, Mary.
Then I've
They're
got
beautiful.
mail from
Hey, Richie.
Gold Eagle Prospecting. He sent us some stickers and a poker chip, which is really cool.
Yes.
And a nice letter, which will go up on the wall. We want to thank him for that. And then we won
Hey,
a
Guido.
giveaway from I think that was on Diggins live stream. wasn't
Rose.
it?
Yes. Yes.
And
Got a very nice.
very nice
Yes.
nice stuff. I've got an
And that
Indian
was
head-
from Robert with
I've got
Las
a
Vegas.
Buffalo nickel, a
Urban
V
Treasure
nickel, a
Hunter.
token, an Indian head penny, a wheat penny, and he sent me all kinds of these sweet little buttons that from
Hey, Seymour Cannabis.
one is the Hoover Dam,
Hey,
the
Shane.
other one is
Hey, Shane.
Death Valley, this cool flag sticker.
Yep.
And he sent us this thing where we can
Hey, Deej.
it's
Welcome.
buy one, plant one, and you go and enter your code, and it's woodchuckusa.com and locate me our tree. So we have a tree that we need to.
Thank you so much.
so
That
we
was a
wanna thank them
nice
for
giveaway
that
gift.
giveaway gift. Yeah, so
Yes.
awesome, and that's my mail call. I know it was quick.
Yes,
but-
it was quick.
That's how we did it.
Yep.
I see Shane's in here. See it My Way One and Lauren O'Reilly, Marty
We have
Vistalls.
Deej.
Deej has joined us. Welcome.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone. And let's go
Guido.
ahead. Guido's in. Hey,
Yep.
hey, Guido, thanks for stopping by. Let's go ahead and bring up our guest. We are not going to leave him in the back
Oh,
room.
we can't leave Swampy back
And
there.
everyone, give a big
Hey,
poke
everybody.
to Swampy
Hey,
from
Mona.
Swamp Rat Nation. Hey, Mona, welcome.
Hey, you leave me in the back room and you never know what's going to happen in that room.
That's
Hey,
right.
A
I'm
lot
like,
can
handle
happen
it.
in that back room.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yes, it can. How
How's
you
everybody
doing?
doing today?
Oh, we haven't done nothing today.
We've been
We've been
lazy today.
lazy.
A little bit of work done, only what we've had to.
I'm
And that's
tired.
cleaning the bathrooms.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired. I'd be in bed right now if it wasn't for
Oh,
couldn't miss Clark's Cove, and I knew I was coming up to see how everybody was doing. But 3 hours out on the canoe paddling and magnet fishing, so and getting hit by a thunderstorm at the very end, so makes for a long day.
yes,
I
I know
know
it
we got
a
does.
storm.
Hey, Carson.
We got a storm
Welcome.
here last night that went through that we
Oh
wasn't
my
really supposed to
gosh.
get. We were sitting out on the carport, and man, lightning struck right up on the bank
Behind the house.
behind the house. And let me tell you, I was from the carport to the porch, and I think one leap.
You could smell it after it had struck. You could smell that in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Robbie,
could
that
just see you jumping too.
Oh.
I'd have been
Oh,
I'd been
man.
moving
You jump
faster
like
than
a
ever.
I don't think I ever moved that fast before. It's no
Gosh.
joke. Welcome, Carson.
Treasure Woman, thank you for joining us. Everyone, hashtag SRN
Yep.
for the giveaway.
Swamp Rat Nation.
Yes.
Swamp Rat Nation.
Swamp Rat Nation.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like you see it there, all in caps.
Yep.
Give everyone a chance to.
And thank you all for joining us.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm out of
Yeah,
the loop.
we're
you
out of the
know,
loop. We
haven't-
feel like we're
we
still
took
wet
a-
behind the ears because
we
we've
took
been
a-
gone for 2 weeks.
Took a couple of weekends
I
off.
can't believe it's been 2 weeks.
Did some side by siding. I know everyone's seen the video we put out. We had a blast. We
Yes,
had
we
some
did.
cool
Hey,
finds.
Randy.
And here she is. We're sitting here at that one place, and she finds the sterling
Brewers, welcome.
spoon ring
Yes, it's
just laying right
gorgeous.
there on top of the ground.
I think I say how gorgeous it is several times throughout the video
Yeah.
because it had
Brewers.
not been laying long because it
JP.
had not been stepped
Welcome.
on or rolled over. It
Wow.
was dirty. And I did not know it was silver until after we started looking at it.
because we didn't have neither one of us had our glasses.
JP.
with us.
Yes.
And yeah, I said hey JP. And but yes, it was stamped sterling.
Yes, it
inside.
was. Yes,
I'm
it
sure
was.
some girl out there was really yeah.
I would have been
sad for
upset to have lost it,
that.
but I would not be wearing it out on a muddy trail either. So you lose it and we
We
find it.
Yeah, that's just how
There
it
you
goes.
The trick sometimes though is they lose it and we try to find who they are, and
True.
that's been my latest one. My last big
Amen.
metal detecting find. I've got a little urn that I found. I think
Well,
I've
you
got it.
tell us all about
I
that.
seen that.
We'll make you bigger so everyone can see it.
So I was out at the park, and this one was
Man,
just under the surface. It wasn't even an inch down. It just had a little bit of dirt, a little bit of leaves on it. And I
can
find
do.
this little canister,
Yep.
Yep.
and I was like, well, wait a minute. Is that going to be an urn, or is that going to be like somebody's holy water or oil that they carry with them? So I did open it, and sure enough, it's got ashes in it.
Yep.
It was too close to the surface to where, my first thought was, did somebody leave this here on purpose because they had a loved one that liked the park? And then I thought about it and I went, not on the surface. If they would have
Yeah.
buried it, maybe. So
Right.
I've spent the last 2 weeks trying to find the owner of that. And lo and behold, you put a message up on Facebook that you have that. And I put a picture on there so people could see what it was. Because I figured, who's going to try to claim a stainless steel urn that has ashes in it unless they really lost it? I had 4 different people that came forward that said they lost one in that park.
And
Every one of them came and looked at it and went, no, that one's not mine. So apparently that's the place to lose your necklace urns. So I've got to go back out there and do some more searching, see if I can find them. And they're not really, they don't come up as great signals. They're things that normally I would have just passed over, but
And there's no markings on it. What's none?
none at all. And
See
the,
that little one.
the chain
that
was
Melissa-
broken.
The one that Melissa found, it has mat on
Mhm.
the bottom.
But that's
of
all it
That's
has. So
yeah.
that's kind of hard to
would've-
trace.
That would have been a little bit more helpful. I got a friend in town that's actually a funeral director that specializes in cremations. So she may have been able to track something down if I had a name on it, but this has got nothing on it.
I never thought about that because we found that in
Yeah,
Ohio.
but we don't know how long the thing
We-
had been
yeah.
there. 'Cause
No.
How deep was it?
The best that I can remember, it was just a couple of inches down, if that.
So it's probably been there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been there for a while.
Yep.
But that was my last metal detecting hunt that I found something weird, and that still looking for the family. I don't know. somebody had to be heartbroken.
Scott.
It's 'cause they're-
Yes, I would say
Yeah,
so. They would
probably.
be very heartbroken.
Yeah.
Well, Swampy, I know you have got a lot of hobbies going on and a lot of interests. So let's start out with magnet fishing.
Magnet fishing. That's been a good one because that's been my focus
Jamie.
for the last 2 weeks. I just rebuilt a canoe.
Right. We've been watching that.
Gentleman locally gave me a canoe. It got a big hole in the back and one down on the bottom, but probably a 1970s Mohawk Blazer. It's a 16-foot canoe, super stable on the water.
I want a canoe.
And it'll hold a couple 100 pounds in scrap metal pulling them up. I had 4 bicycles in there the other day.
Wow.
So 4 bicycles, three buckets full of random garbage. But it's a new kind of magnet fishing for me. Magnet fishing from a moving vessel is tricky because you throw the magnet in, it catches a rock on the bottom, and instead of pulling it past the rock, you're pulling the canoe over to where the magnet is, so you don't get a lot of ground coverage. But
Yeah.
it's been getting me into some spots I wouldn't normally get to, so that's kind of fun. And rebuilding the canoe was a blast. Anybody that hasn't seen it, it's painted up like a Coast Guard black hole boat, just like the one I was on when I was in the Coast Guard. So
Yep. We're glad for the updates and you keeping us updated on how that has progressed.
and
Definitely.
it was a chore. It was awfully fun to record that and kind of show how to do it. And that's one of the directions I've kind of been taking my channel. One of my hobbies is just rebuilding things, and I really haven't put that in my channel. My restorations, the cleaning up of items that I find, or repurposing of items, and that's something that I frequently do. So
We're not into doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
really.
we are
I just don't-
not everyone has a knack for thinking of how to repurpose. Like you do the shotgun head stamps with
Those are
magnets.
sweet.
Yeah.
Those are sweet.
I got a bunch of those over there that got to go to Park Rat.
So tell us what got you started into magnet fishing.
Magnet fishing was actually my first treasure hunting experience was magnet fishing. And a lot of it was
Hey, Paul.
recently, within the last 2 years, it's been just watching videos. However, I'm an old magnet fisher. My dad back in the 70s, my dad worked for Jet Propulsion Laboratories, NASA, that did the unmanned spacecraft, and he was an electrical engineer for Jet Propulsion Laboratories out in California.
Okay.
And one of the things that they have to do is there's electrical charges that are still in a lot of the electrical equipment that they're building on those unmanned spacecraft. They have to use a magnet to do what's called degaussing. They use a degaussing magnet, and that takes the electrical charge out. Well, there was an extra one they were going to be throwing out, and Dad brought it home and had it in the truck. It just sat in the truck for years and years. And then we ended up moving up to the Pacific Northwest in 79, 80. And we were out fishing up there in Puget Sound, and my dad dropped his buck knife. We were trying to figure out a way to get that knife out, and it was probably 15, 20 feet of water where he dropped it. Really clear water, but I'm not diving 15, 20 feet. I was 14, 15 years old. So, no, I wasn't even that old. I was 9 or 10. So we took it and we wrapped rope around that magnet and we threw it in, pulled up a mag light, threw it back in, pulled up a crab trap, threw it back in, finally got Dad's knife and gave Dad his knife. And we're like, Dad, we're going to stay down here with the magnet, throwing it in the water. So that was my first magnet fishing adventure, was 1979, 1980. So
Wow.
there was no magnet fishing then. Then I started seeing people doing it with these new magnets. They were buying magnets specifically for this about 2 or 3 years ago. And I said, you know what? That kind of reminds me of Dad. And it was certainly after my dad had passed away. So I said, I'm going to buy one of those magnets and I'm going to go give it a try. So it's kind of a reminder of my dad when I go out magnet fishing. You know, I put things together like that. I go out and I think about my dad while I'm on the water.
That is a good thing to do, Swampy. Yes, because you've been doing it for so many years, and
Yeah.
it's great that you're just sort of carrying that on with you. Yeah,
Yep.
that is awesome.
I got 3 brothers, and I don't think one of them one of them does it now because they saw me doing it again.
Right.
So they picked up that hobby after I did, and then he picked up metal detecting after I did.
Now, how long have you been metal detecting?
Metal detecting, I've owned metal detectors when I was a kid. I think we all did, but seriously, metal detecting, only about a year, if that. I don't even think it's been a year since I started. That last October, November. There's an area that I'd been hiking in that I found a navigation tower. If you watch some of my early detecting videos, they're all in that area. There was a navigation tower built in the 1930s that's on county property. And I wanted to know the history of the tower because everybody thought it was an agricultural tower. So I started doing my research, found out that it was a navigation tower for the old Army Air Base here in Orlando, which is now Orlando International Airport. It's the 10-mile marker for the old Army Air Base, which was built in 1930s. So I knew there was some history, and I told my girlfriend Sherry, I said, you know what? I need to go get me a metal detector. And she looked at me and went, why? And I said, because I want to go metal detect out there. And she goes, you don't need to go get a metal detector. And I'm like, yeah, it would be fun. And she goes, no, you don't need to go get a metal detector. Go up in the attic. So I went up into the attic, and sure enough, there was a box up there, brand new, been opened, maybe used once, Garrett AT Pro.
Woohoo!
Her late husband had purchased it and never used it. So that was my first detector. I used that for a couple months. Didn't know how to use it. And Park Rat Pat came up. He's out on the coast and I'm in the center of the state. So he came up and showed me how to use it, set me loose. And while we're out there searching, I went, hey, Pat, I got a crazy 95 signal over here, which that's pretty high tone when you're going 0 to 100 on that AT Pro. 95
Yep.
high tone. He goes, it's gonna be something stupid. So I start dig up the first shovelful. I go to go dig a second shovelful up because it looked like it was going to be deep. And he goes, stop. And Pat bent down and picked it up first and then handed it to me. And this was this is my first metal detecting adventure and my very first coin ever. $1943 Walking Liberty half.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isn't that sweet?
And
That
it
is sweet.
in such gorgeous shape. The sand here in Florida just protects these coins.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was our big coin find of the day between Pat and I. He found a couple of buckwheats, which was kind of cool. Then I went out 2 days later with the detector again, and I found my best coin spill. Only 4 coins, but the 4 coins were 2 Mercury dimes, Buffalo nickel, and a wheat penny.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a steal.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I mean, you can't complain when you get 2 Mercuries out of the same hole. They were 1936 and 1937. I'm still hunting I haven't been out to that property though for a while. Although it's county owned and the county has told me, go for it. You're more than welcome to hunt on the property. The property's managed by Florida Wildlife Commission. And they ran into me while I was heading out one day, and they said, you shouldn't be metal detecting here. And I was like, well, the county told me I was fine metal detecting here. And they said, well, technically, yes, but we manage it, and we don't like people metal detecting on properties we manage. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. You guys are the fish cops.
Yeah.
I'll go detect someplace else for now. I'll end up getting out there again. They're wanting to build a road through the middle of the preserve. Preserve doesn't mean much around here, apparently. So unfortunately, where they're putting the road goes right across my 1930s tower. So now they're having to deal with National Historic Site Registry information that the Swamp Rat submitted to the National Registry on that tower. So if that gets approved, the road's going to have to go around it one way or the other because its location, there were 40 of these towers built by the same company.
Yeah.
This is the only one that's verified still on its original location. And the only one that I've been able to document built by this company is actually in the Smithsonian Air Museum, and it's completely restored. So kind of a cool find when you find something in the woods that everybody knows is there, but nobody knew what it was.
Yep. Sweet. So what inspired you to go with Swamp Rat Nation?
The local people here, before I started YouTubing, a lot of the local people have already started calling me the Swamp Rat. Oh, that's that Swamp Rat guy that's out there all the time, walking through the swamps, looking for stuff, trying to see what he can put together from nothing. And since people started already calling me Swamp Rat and they knew who I was, I stuck with it. And we ended up putting the nation on the end of Swamp Rat from Benny from Kratos Magnetics. Originally it was just the Swamp Rat was my channel name. And Benny said, well, I'm ready to join the Swamp Rat Nation. And I went, ooh, channel's changing names.
It's got a ring to it,
Yes.
definitely.
As soon as he said that, it just had a really good ring to it. So I picked up and ran with that. And Swampy came about because of our dear friend Cynthia Swearingen. She just started calling me Swampy, and it stuck.
Yeah. That's. I think everyone.
Marlon.
I know I do.
Well.
Call you Swampy.
Yep,
Yep.
Swampy.
Hey, Myra.
Most people don't even know my name is Donald.
Yeah.
They're like, Don who?
I know before the show started, I was just sitting here thinking to myself, and I thought, well, am I
Hey,
going to
Betcha,
call him Don or am I going to call him
Swampy.
Swampy? I
Yeah.
said
Swampy
Swampy.
is fine.
Swampy. Yeah, that's it.
It's what everybody knows me as in the treasure community. So, and
Yeah, I've always called you Swampy.
yeah, and it's what people know me outside. I mean, if you know me on Facebook, you see my name on there. But on YouTube, everybody knows me as Swampy, and I introduce myself as Swampy now sometimes. I pull up to the drive-in and they go, can I get a name for that order? And I said, Swampy. And they're like, what? And I go, Swamp Rat.
I know
Hey, Don.
you were talking about on the AT Pro that Walker bringing up in the 90s. I know when I found mine back, it's been about a month ago now, on the Apex, it rang up. It was hitting dead 99
Yeah.
on it. And I figured it was just going to be something
Yep.
junk, big piece of brass or something like
Yep.
that. Usually that's what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, big coin like that on the Garrett's ring up really, really high.
And I have trouble with the Garrett machines. That's why I switched machines. Those that don't know, I think most people know I have young onset Parkinson's disease. It causes tremors, loss of fine motor skills and balance. And 5 years ago, I had brain surgery.
Yeah.
These two little bumps up here and my battery pack in my chest that needs replaced next year. You can kind of see it here. If you look, you can kind of see a square battery right there. It runs all the way up the the back of my neck, around the back of my ear. There's a splitter here, and then the wires go in 2 directions and come right up there to my horns. And they drilled holes right there, and they put wires all the way down into my head. Counters all of my tremor symptoms are gone. With that, I've been off medication now for about 12 months.
Nice.
So, but next year the battery needs replaced next spring. That's the only unfortunate thing. I have to go back under the knife to replace the battery.
Yeah.
But with the Parkinson's, with metal detecting, the problem was with this device, anything that, and this is true with anything if you're metal detecting, electrical devices put off an EM pulse. They put off EM frequencies. Garrett's frequencies, 3 of the frequencies on that AT Pro pick up interference from this.
Pick up on off of that.
So I'm only using
Hey,
one
Michael.
frequency. It was kind of pointless, to have a $500 machine that I can only
Yeah.
use one frequency.
Right.
So I went with the Nocta Macro, the Legend, when that came out. I got to try them out at Florida Hyundai. I got to try out both the MindLab Equinox 6 and 8, and then the Simplex and the Legend, and that was a week before the Legend was available on the market. So
I know everyone seems to be really liking that machine.
it's a good machine. It's rugged like a tank. It's a little bit heavier than the Nox is. I'll give that. And mine's a little bit heavier because I keep the external battery on it, but the weight works really well for countering my
Thanks for coming,
balance.
Beach.
And if I lose my balance, I'm going to have to put that machine down, and that machine's going to become a cane.
Yeah.
So it better be able to hold my 200 pounds. And that one does. That the Legend, it's super strong. I've been super happy with it. I found my first big find. I found a token about 2 months ago up at a permission that a friend of mine got, and called me up and said, "Hey, I've got this permission. Let's go hunt it." It was a 1900s house. We're early 1900s, so we're not expecting anything really old. And I find a little token and clean it off, and I went, "Wait a minute, there's a date on this thing. I can't see it. What does it say, John?" I hand it to him, and he looks at it and goes, "It says 1863. I went, "No, that can't be." Cleaned it up a little bit better, and turns out, sure enough, it's an 1863 token from a pie company in New York.
Hey, Dennis.
Oh,
They
wow.
were
A
at
pie company.
pie company. They're called the Broas Brothers Pie Bakers, and they were located at 131 41st Street, New York, New York. So right near where Times Square is. They're not there anymore. I looked up the
Right.
address. They're obviously not there. I
Yeah.
can't go get any pie from them, even though I've got a token. I feel robbed. But I got it home, and it's in great shape. It's one of the best tokens I've ever found. Looked it up on some of the auction sites, and 2 of them came to auction earlier in the year. One of them sold for about $350, the other one for $450, and mine's in better shape. So
Sweet.
Dennis
just
from
for-
KCMD told me send it off and get it
Yeah.
graded.
For people just coming in, hashtag SRN and get in on tonight's giveaway whenever we decide to
Yep, we'll do that here.
sometime after a while.
Yeah. Not as long as it has been.
Yeah, it won't be as long as it has been. Yeah, Melissa and me, we just found here a couple of weeks ago, where we've been doing the curb strips. We had got another permission. This guy let us do his yard, and she found an old token in the backyard that's Atlas Explosives. And what it was is an old token from Atlas Powder Company that they used to make. They were actually a part of the DuPont.
Okay.
Making blasting caps, dynamite. They supplied what was it, Britain and France back before World War II, and then during World War II they supplied all the Allies with ammo and blasting stuff, and that was a cool.
That token will be in an upcoming video.
And then I had my token wasn't as nice, but it was from Huntington where we were hunting. It's an old dairy token from an old dairy that was at how old was that? It was
I have
from
forgotten.
I think it was like back in the 30s, and then it had been bought out later on, and then that company had been bought out by
Broughton.
and of course none of them exist today. So
Right.
that was a
I
couple.
found one old token from a company that still exists, and that was the same day that I found the pie one. I found Palmolive token, where you can get a free cake of soap if you buy some other cake of soap. You got a free cake of Palmolive soap. I don't think Palmolive makes cake soap anymore.
Well, now that you mentioned that our local Dollar General store still has bars of Palmolive soap.
We should see if they'll take that. Let's go bring them in the token and see if they'll exchange it. Buy one get one free.
I think it's like a 3-pack. The Palmolive soap there comes in. But if I'm not mistaken now, I mean, my eyes could have been deceiving me, but I'm most sure I saw the Palmolive soap there. But yes, you don't find Palmolive soap around like you used to.
No. I'm just looking through my drawer here. I've got like all my treasures are like right in this area. So I'm like going through my drawer. Do I have the Palmolive token in here somewhere? It's probably in my baggie. It's funny because all my silver and gold stay in this little bag that I bought tamales in it. It had a dozen tamales in it. But the bag works so nice for holding the valuable stuff.
I see Pat is saying here, Swampy, contact Palmolive. They may want it. Hey,
That's
PA
true.
Patriot, thanks for joining us.
Nope, it's not in there. I don't know where I put it. There's my most valuable find, though, with the detector.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Isn't that beautiful?
And that was out of a city park. Just
Nice.
about 2 inches down. Beautiful Virgin Mary medallion, 18 karat gold.
Yeah.
It's pretty thin. I think it's about 2.5 grams. So
That's sweet.
I mean that was my very first gold, and that target was so low I thought it was going to be garbage. I went, I'm not digging that, and I went, you know what? I'm going to dig it.
Yep.
I'm glad I did. I was out hunting with Dawn the Metal Detective. She was down here visiting me in Florida, and she hadn't even gotten her shoes off when I found new shoes put on. And I pulled this up and I went, Dawn, you got to see what I found. She's standing there still in her socks. And I'm like, look. She goes, I hate you.
I can hear her saying that. Yes. Yeah.
You didn't even let me put my shoes on.
A barber shop a token from a barber shop in Libertyville, Iowa, took it to the current barber, and he wanted it bad enough. He gave me my next 2 haircuts. That's cool.
That is cool. That is cool. Well,
Hey,
Swampy,
you honored it.
Yeah, we haven't found. I've only found 2 gold rings. That's the only gold
I've not
we
found
have
any gold.
Found. And
I have probably, and I'm going to be honest, I have probably passed some up because, like Swampy said, it rings one of those signals that's just not attractive to you. And boy, oh boy, though, that's when you make your mistake. You need to dig it all.
Yep.
You need to dig it all.
This one rung just like 2 numbers lower than a pull tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I've noticed now is if the numbers are a little bit lower than the pull tab, I'm not going to pass them. If it's right at the pull tab range, maybe not. But if it's right below that pull tab range and it's a steady right below it, I'm digging it. I'm digging the hole.
It really pays because, I mean, even though you know your machine, you know the sounds, the numbers, it pays to dig it all because you do not know what is there.
Right.
Until you dig it up. I
And that's
mean, that is just,
That's when I learned it from Swifty. Dig it all, y'all.
yeah,
you've
you
got
got
to.
that right. Hey, digging up the Carolinas. Well, now you have so many other hobbies going on, like the shotgun head stamps. What got you really interested in, because anybody, I'm going to tell everyone here in chat, those of you that don't know Swampy, if you ever find a shotgun head stamp of any kind and you need to know about it, he is the man
Pick up the
with the
phone.
plan. Let me tell you.
And really, the only reason that came about was I was finding so many of them on that property out at that homestead. The homestead was used where the tower was. There's a small airfield that's overgrown now. And the gentleman that owned the ranch back in the 1910 to 1942, he would fly his friends in from the public airfield into his little airfield down there that's overgrown now, and he would take them out hunting, and he would take people out hunting from all over the world. So there are so many shotgun head stamps out there that if I go out on that property and I don't pull up 10 or 15 of them in a day, I'm not doing something right. And because I had so many, I was like, okay, now I want to know about these. So I started doing my research, started looking up, where things came from. If I found a particularly interesting one that I'd never seen the name for, I researched it some more. I found one that was, it just said Western Revelation on it. And it was a number 12, so I knew it was fairly old. And I'm like, Western Revelation, what is Western? Where did that come from? So I started doing the research, and every time that I put in Western Revelation, I'd get Western Auto Parts. And I was thinking, why Western Auto Parts? And then I stopped for a minute and I went, how old is Western Auto Parts? So I started researching Western Auto Parts. Western Auto Parts doesn't exist anymore. They're now Advanced Auto Parts. But back in the day, Western Auto Parts didn't just sell auto parts. You could walk into a Western Auto Parts in 1920s and you could buy a shotgun off the shelf.
Okay.
And Remington made ammunition for them under their own brand. So the Western Revelation is actually Remington ammunition restamped for Western Auto Parts to sell in their stores.
That is cool. Did not know that.
That was kind of an odd one that, it was a head scratcher and the Google searches weren't helping, but sometimes you got to step back out of it and look at not what we think a store might sell, but what did they actually sell? What did this place do back in the day? Look at that. Shannon Dalton has a complete collection of Revelation shotguns.
I'm seeing that.
Yep.
That's cool because those would have all came from Western Auto Parts. And what's really cool is Western Auto Parts, the building that the store was in, I can still tell which building was Western Auto Parts here in our town of St. Cloud, Florida. The W is gone, but it just says Estern across it. And a friend of mine owns the building, so I've been trying to talk him into letting me detect out behind the store.
Right.
He's got almost a whole block that he owns in town.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, knowing that there was that store there, that would have to have something there.
Yeah.
I can never find him when he's there. Never get a hold of him.
Right. Those of you just joining, hashtag SRN to get in on the giveaway, folks.
SRN, that's me. Swamp Rat Nation.
Swamp Rat Nation. Yes, absolutely.
So those are, magnet fishing, metal detecting, treasure hunting in general is one of my hobbies. Some of the other ones, if you watch some of my old videos, you'll see some of my mountain biking and building stuff. There's one on there. I found a sailboat that I restored, used it for a season, and I broke it in half on the St. Johns River. So
Yep.
I went, nope, I'm not going to keep that. I can't keep the darn thing together. Mountain biking, because of my balance issues, I can't ride a regular bike. So I've got 2 4-wheelers, 2 quads that are quad cycles. Got big 26 by 4-inch wheels on them. They're all pedal power. One of them's a hard frame 30-speed bike, and the other one is a full suspension 90-speed bike. That thing's a beast.
Now, is that the one you ride in? We have seen you ride in your videos.
Yes, the one that I
Okay.
ride out treasure detecting when I'm going cruising around. That's the 90-speed full suspension.
Okay.
The other one is built for a little bit harder riding, where I do jumps, and I'll do jumps on them. I'm not supposed to. People get mad at me when I do it. My girlfriend gets really mad if I do stuff like that. It's like, you're
I
gonna
can
get hurt.
understand.
It's like, you're gonna get hurt. So I take it a little bit easier, but that bike, because it's a hard frame bike, it can handle a little bit more roughness than a full suspension bike can. And the full suspension was kind of an accident. I got my bike originally on what's called the VA Adaptive Sports Grant. The VA will actually, if you can't use regular sporting good equipment, they will step in, give you a grant. If you need specialized equipment, you can actually use that grant to have somebody build that equipment for you. So my bikes were actually custom built.
Okay.
The red one that I usually ride when I'm detecting was actually built for a friend of mine that decided he didn't want it, and we weren't talking at the time. We still aren't talking, but he pawned it, and I just happened to walk into the pawn shop while it was being rolled out onto the floor, and I'm like, I know that bike. That bike's never even been ridden before. How much you want for it? They told me $2,000, and I knew it was a $10,000 bike. So I said, well, I don't have $2,000. And the girl said, 10% down, 6 months, same as cash. And I was like, that's all you had to say, sweetheart. Pulled $200 out.
Reeled you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, reeled you in.
Had them hold it, and within 3 months I had it paid off. And I knew it hadn't been ridden because it was damaged in shipping, and he'd never filed a claim on it, and the damage was still there. So I ended up, the damage was to the front gear system, which it's a $2,000 gearbox made in Germany. The parts are not cheap on it. So I contacted the North American headquarters for that company, and they sent me the parts for free, knowing my situation. They just, what parts do you need? And then they said, look, if you have any problems when you're putting it together, this is our local engineer. He'll go on FaceTime with you, and he'll walk you through how to put it back together.
Heck yeah.
So good company.
That's great.
Pinion North America.
That is great.
Not that anybody's going to spend $2,000 on a gear system for a bicycle. You got to be pretty into it, but I am. I've done long distance rides from Washington D.C. to Virginia Beach. I did Tallahassee to Florida to New Orleans one year. That was a 4-day ride because that's about 400 or 500 miles. Yeah. And the biggest single ride I've done is what's called the Cross Florida ride. I'm the only person that's done it on an adaptive tricycle. My bike was actually a 3-wheeler, not a 4-wheeler at that time, and I was riding on the roads. But I rode 175 miles from coast to coast in Florida in 12 hours.
Shoot.
Wow.
Again. I was exhausted for 3 days. But
I would say so.
I'm the only person in the history of that race that's ever done the 1-day ride on a tricycle.
Amazing, Swampy,
Has-
amazing.
Have any of you all heard about this where they're trying now to make you license and insure your bicycles?
Or maybe the electric bicycles.
That's
I
the
don't
problem.
know. I thought, man, that's
I think regular riding bicycles because
it could be
the category of a motorized bike would actually have a gas motor. So these electric bikes are, they were random around, not everybody had one. Now suddenly everybody does.
And
there's really no
the problem
regulations
is
with
that
it.
people are exceeding the limits. In Florida, an electric assist bike can still considered a bicycle, but the electric by itself cannot propel the bike more than 20 miles an hour. If it does, it's a motorized vehicle.
oh,
Okay. Okay.
Florida's on it. Florida's on it. So if it's moving more than 20 miles an hour, the police can give you a ticket for riding a bicycle that's moving faster than what the bicycle's allowed to. They
Okay.
don't enforce it, but that's the way the law is written on it.
Yeah, it's such a new phenomenon. They all actually have to catch up. But to me, I was like, well, the same rules of the road should apply because they apply to bicycles. They
Yes,
just
they
don't
do.
enforce them. You have to stay on the right side of the road. Under the age of 10, you shouldn't be on sidewalks. There's a whole slew of rules they don't enforce. So they
Right.
should use those with bicycles as well.
Right.
These
Yeah.
electric bicycles.
Yep.
Yep.
And if it doesn't have pedals, having pedals or not having pedals is one of the primary things too, because if you have a bicycle with no pedals but an engine, it's a motorcycle.
Really.
The minute you put pedals on it, though, it's a bicycle.
Something to keep in mind, folks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, now you have, I think, some other interesting hobbies. I'm going to assume you're still doing it, like the glass etching,
Yep.
Woodworking.
I do a lot of woodworking.
yeah, I've got a couple of his. I don't use it very often
I know,
because
'cause we don't wanna
wanna
break 'em.
them. So yeah,
Yep.
yep.
That one's full of a bunch of other stuff.
And then your seasoning.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh my.
I still got a little bit of it left.
I got to
Just-
make some more. I'm like almost out of all of it except for the stuff that's in my kitchen right now. And I've had more people coming forward saying, how can I get me some of that? How can I get me some of that?
We use it on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Pete.
Yeah, I need me some of that.
I just figured out how to make chili with it. So I've got a new recipe for making chili with it. So when I send it out next time, I'll send you up some more. I'm going to have to include my chili recipe.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's going to be getting.
It's
that-
almost that weather.
getting that
My
weather
gosh.
for chili here
Yep.
before long.
I
I just got to
remember-
eat chili whether it's hot or cold. It don't matter because it's always hot.
The past 2 years in September, we have had to turn the heat on here in West Virginia.
Yep.
It's gotten down, cool
There's
enough
John.
to do that.
This is this right here. This is the guy that's responsible for me finding that 1863 token. He's the one that knew what year it was right off the bat.
Okay, good deal, John.
Great guy. I met John at Florida Hunt 8 and got to go out hunting with him a couple months ago. So
Sweet.
Sweet. Awesome.
I see him pop into chats every once in a while.
So, Swampy, back to the metal
That's a good one,
detecting.
Dan.
What would be your bucket list item that you hope to find?
You know,
or items?
I didn't really have one, but as bad as this is, I'm trying to keep up with my brother. And I found that $50 and he comes back and goes, guess what I just found in the city park, and sends me a 1736 picture of 1736 real in a city
Oh.
park in Connecticut. So
Wow.
finding a real would definitely, that would be on my list, and that's doable here in Florida.
Yeah.
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 You know, if you can find it, if you can find a 1736 real in Hebron, Connecticut, you certainly should be able to find one on the Treasure Coast here in Florida. Otherwise,
Yeah.
why are we calling it the Treasure Coast?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
You know,
see,
that's a really hard answer to that
North
one.
Carolina's wanting to start them a weekly.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
channel.
step on toes, but
Hey.
there's so many people streaming right now. It's really rather difficult to not step on toes.
Yeah,
It
If
happens.
you're
it's gonna
going
happen.
to step on toes, just don't do it intentionally.
Here's my suggestion.
Right.
Pick the time that works
Hey, Mike.
best for you.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Run your live and see how it works.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
if you've got anybody that's a close friend, I mean, I would never run a Friday 10 o'clock at night until midnight stream. The Magnetic Squatchin is a personal friend of mine, and I'm not gonna put my stream on top of one of my personal friends' streams. That's just not a good idea. He's been a personal friend. Apparently, we've indirectly known each other for probably 30 years now without knowing it. We went to boot camp together.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
We went to Coast Guard boot camp together. We were 1 week apart. He went in 1 week before I did. So he was marching along, and I was going, that's one tall recruit.
To mention that, I know the one of your last videos you did, you did it in what was it? Was it Spanish? Or,
In Spanish. Yeah, I did
and then you
technical
told
video
me
in
that you
Spanish.
actually lived in. Now it was
Lived in Argentina.
Argentina. I was getting ready to say Venezuela, but yeah, Argentina.
I lived in Argentina for 2 years as a missionary. That was before I joined the military. And I was terrible at Spanish when I went there. High school, I took Spanish and I got D's and F's, and the Spanish teacher told me I'd never learn Spanish. Ha ha. Showed her, didn't I? But yeah, so I spent some time traveling around southern South America, down in the Patagonia for a couple of years. I wish I would have been detecting then. Oh, the places I went down there would have been great. And then I spent a few years in the Coast Guard. I was stationed in Alaska, and I was stationed on an icebreaker out of Seattle. Icebreaker ended up taking me to Australia, New Zealand, Antarctica.
Wow.
Got to stop in Mexico on the icebreaker. Then back to Seattle, and that poor boat is getting abused now. It's the only icebreaker capable of breaking polar ice in the US fleet right now. So unfortunately, she's going south every year.
Jim wants to know, did you get a sleeping dictionary?
A sleeping dictionary. Jim, I don't know what you mean.
I think that's like where you sleep and you listen to it while
no.
you're sleeping.
Oh no, but if you're immersed in a culture where you don't have a choice, you just don't have a choice. Learn it or struggle.
Yeah, I never was good when I took 2 years of Spanish in high school and
Yeah.
still never learned anything.
I took it in high school, of course, but here in West Virginia, you don't use Spanish a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
No,
You
I
know.
have quite a bit of use for it here in Florida. It doesn't matter where I go in Florida. Somebody speaks Spanish. I've gotten into a couple of arguments with English speaking people because they were yelling at people about, you Spanish speaking people come here and you think that, and I mean, I'm at a Walgreens grocery store, and the poor girl behind the counters came up from Puerto Rico. She's trying to learn English. She's yelling at her that she needs to go back to her own country, and I'm going, this is her own country. Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Yeah.
Well, we speak English in the United States. No, that's not true. We speak lots of languages in the United States.
Yes,
French
we do.
French was spoken here before English, and Spanish was spoken here before French or English were. So,
The thing about what we speak is what a lot of people don't realize is all our English language is made up of every other language out there.
Yeah.
So A lot of
Pretty much.
common words we use, a lot of people don't realize you're using a word from another language.
Well,
Don't
this is
American
the
English,
thing- this is the
American
thing that it-
English
that
more
needs to come
than
up in,
English
history.
English.
A lot of people don't realize. I don't know if it's even taught at all. The formation of our country right after the American Revolutionary War, along with deciding what our national bird would be and our national tree and where our national capital would be. One of the things they actually were discussing was what our national language should be. What should all of us speak? And the toss-up was between the King's language or German, because there was actually a lot of German immigrants,
Right.
a lot of Germans at that time that had come over here too. And they actually preferred, including the Germans, the King's English. So that's why we speak, and it actually is our language, because it was during the time in the formation of our country that they just chose to speak English. Otherwise, we'd all be saying, what is it? Evening, guten Abend,
Yep.
you know.
And it's subject to change over time, you know.
But
Over
Jim's right.
time.
We speak American. We have a bastardized mix of a language.
Right. And we've got Spanish mixing into it all the time. We've got almost any language where we have contact with things are going to change. Language is fluid. It's not stationary.
Right. Absolutely.
We speak American. And I barely speak American.
Yeah, same here. I struggle
Man.
with it.
I
We
have
all do
my
speak
moments.
American. We don't even speak English.
Nope, we sure don't.
We took 12 years of it, and not one of us uses it.
Nope. And I can't remember the rules. I don't know when to use a semicolon and a colon. I don't remember.
Oh, now you're getting farther than that. Now you're talking about writing
Yeah.
it. None of us speak proper English.
Nope.
We learned it for 12 years, but none of us speak it.
Nope. And I've had people say that about my Spanish. They're like, your Spanish is a lot more proper than ours is. And I'm like, I learned my Spanish. My Spanish isn't very proper because I learned it on the streets of Argentina. And they do not speak proper Spanish in Argentina.
I know I ain't got no proper way to speak.
Richie said you all talk funny down there.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Who does?
We do, don't we, Richie?
Y'all talk funny up north. What you talking about?
Hey,
And it's
Hey,
not you
what
all,
are you
it's
talking
y'all.
about, huh? Bada bing, bada boom. I don't talk like I'm from New York. Forget about it.
No, Jersey's got its own little dialect.
We have actually a mix. Farther north you go, the more it sounds like New York.
I
Yeah.
love
My area is pretty thick on the
Yeah.
Brooklyn
Way of
accent
speaking.
too, but down
Me
south
too.
it is a bit different.
My only time in New Jersey was in Cape
Yeah.
May, and that was boot camp.
Hey, Charlie.
Not fun.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys.
That says
That
I'd
would love to
speak
speak Japanese. He needs to talk to my niece. I have a niece who is blonde hair, green eyes. My brother-in-law, my fiance's Sherry's brother, and her sister-in-law, who he's married to, she is Japanese. He doesn't speak Japanese. They adopted this little girl when she was like 1 or 2 years old, and she's grown up culturally Japanese. So she's blonde hair, green eyes, and speaks, reads, and writes fluent Japanese,
That's cool.
which has
Sweet.
caused problems at the Los Angeles airport when they were picking somebody up, and Japanese woman and her daughter were talking about her in front of her in Japanese. Didn't realize this little blonde hair, green eyes. Oh, she laid into him. She laid into them like there was no tomorrow.
I know we were the last time we went
Hey, Jimmy.
metal detecting. We was in front of these apartment buildings, and
Yes.
young girl and I guess it was her dad come out
Uh-huh.
and she was having to, I don't know what,
Interpret.
I don't know where were they from? I don't know if they were Japanese or she said, but I can't remember.
Japanese, Chinese, I'm not sure.
But he was asking what we were doing, so I was telling her, and she was translating it to him, and that was so cool sitting there talking to them like that.
It was.
That was fun.
And I know I got a
They
signal
did.
right in front of, their apartment, and they were on the bottom apartment sitting on the porch. And it was a penny. And so I walked up and just showed it in my hand, and he just started laughing. So he found it very funny that I found the penny.
Hey, Jimmy.
I told her, I said, we're not going to strike it rich today, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. And so she translated for him, and he hee-hawed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, we buy $1,000 machines to go out and find pennies.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
probably why he
Yeah.
was laughing.
It's gonna
Not
take a
even
lot of
all that.
pennies. It's gonna take a lot of pennies to pay off that legend I've got.
Now, again, those of you for just joining us,
Yep.
hashtag SRN for the giveaway, and we are going to get ready and do that here
Yeah, here in a
very
little bit.
shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
As my friend Goat says, yee yee.
Yee
Yee
yee.
yee.
Yes.
Hey,
Hey,
Mary.
Mary. We got your sticker.
We
and
did a shout
I
out
did
for
it.
you.
Did another
That
shout
is
out for
such
you.
a beautiful sticker too.
Aren't they
Yes.
beautiful? That blue is gorgeous.
Yes, I love that.
And that's something that's
Thanks,
near
Cynthia.
and dear to my heart because one of the other things, I'm undiagnosed, but my fiance actually is on the autism spectrum, and we think I am, but I'm undiagnosed, and the doctors are like, you're 51 years old, why should we diagnose you with autism at 51? And I'm like, you're right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, not yeet, yee yee.
Yee yee.
Get it right, Malty.
Rachel, do you have any questions for Swampy?
I think you covered them all, unless you want me to ask them. You're out on an all-day adventure, and outside of your detecting or magnet fishing gear that is necessary in order to do that, what else do you take with you? What are you have to have it?
Jackson.
Good question. I have different gear than most people. I bring a remote control for this thing
Yeah.
because I have to be able to control that thing. If I have a problem, I need to adjust it. I've got a little remote control I carry around. I stick it up to my chest. I can adjust it. I always bring water. If I'm magnet fishing lately, I bring my canoe and a paddle. Oh, but metal detecting. What are some things? I love my shovel. I love my new shovel, my new Root Slayer big shovel,
Mm-hmm.
which everybody has to have a shovel when they're going out. I can't think of anything else I bring with me. My pocket
TP
knife.
is always important.
Yeah, TP. If you don't wear socks, make sure you bring toilet paper.
I've learned that the hard way. Yeah,
Yeah,
now.
you don't want to use poison ivy if you ain't got to.
Oh, don't talk about poison ivy.
He
I've
has
got
got
it
it.
all around my neck, man.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it's just one big chunk.
Yeah, where I had to get out and do some weed eating up behind the house and trying to get stuff finished up for the.
there's my tool I bring with me everywhere I go. Anytime I'm metal detecting.
Yeah.
I got my multi-tool. This one's a $40 one off of Amazon. I highly recommend this if you need a multi-tool, and this is the reason. I'm not sponsored by these guys, by the way. It's called a Roxxon Storm. And the reason I like it, everything but the scissors come out without having to open it. But the scissors are the reason I like this thing. Because I've never seen another multi-tool with a full-size set of scissors. And these scissors get used.
Yes, Mona. Robert can tell you a story about
Yeah,
the
I'm
socks, but
not
he's not
going
going to. You can use your imagination. Starts detecting with
I got-
two socks and leaves
Yeah,
with
these-
one.
Yeah, these.
I got a little version of
Yep.
yours, Swampy.
Oh, yeah.
I think these were some I found.
I
I
think
think
they were.
a surface
I
finder.
found mine too.
I found these ones last week.
Woohoo!
It's got all the screwdriver and all the little. A bunch of
I
those
found
gadgets.
a
Got a little
Swiss
bird on
Army
Yeah,
knife,
she found one of the little
one of
bitty,
the smaller
small
ones,
Swiss
but I
Army
found it
knives.
in a ball field.
And I found a big one, but it was already all
It
rusted
was,
up.
yeah,
And
it
that was
was.
some of the first times when that was before we started filming.
This one's falling apart. This one's falling apart. I found it magnet fishing. I don't know how long it's been in the water, but it is a Gerber. So I contacted Gerber to see if they're going to replace it for me.
Yeah.
Haven't heard back yet. We'll see. Doesn't
Never
work.
know.
You never know.
Yeah. They do have a lifetime guarantee on Gerbers. When I was in the military, we used to send our Gerbers back all the time. They'd just issue us a new one, and then we'd send the one that was broken back and get it back. Had one buddy that was collecting all the broken Gerbers because we were hard on the Gerbers in the Coast Guard. We'd break them constantly. We'd get issued a new one. He'd take the broken one, send it back, and then go into town and sell them.
Smart individual.
Yeah, he's making a couple extra bucks here and
Hey.
there.
Yep, you
Yeah.
got to wheel and deal the best way you can.
Yeah, I don't know if these
Taking care of business, so to speak.
I don't know if these have a name. Yeah, they've got something.
Anyone in chat have any questions for Swampy?
That was what my son said, by the way. He's been telling me he's been taking extra top ramen out in the field with him when he goes on field ops, and all the other guys forget to carry him. So he's sitting there with a little stove and water and making everybody top ramen and selling it at twice the price.
Yeah,
You usually say Marines aren't very smart, but apparently that Marine's got a little bit up there.
There you go. Yeah, Pat. Leaves of 3 leave you squeaky clean. Sure they do. And itchy, itchy, itchy.
That park rat Pat, he's a troublemaker, but I love him. I got to go out detecting with Pat again. I haven't detected with him since the first time we went out, and he's not that far from me. So,
Yeah.
Well, there's my other big find: magnet fishing. I didn't find it, but that's my last scrap run.
Oh,
Nice.
If I can get that every scrap run, which I do about once a month, I'm
there
happy.
you go.
So I threw it in. I threw it in with all my other treasures, and that way I forget I've got it.
And then when you see it, you're like, aha.
Aha! And then I just
Aha.
then I leave it there, and I don't take it with me when I leave the house. So I'm saving up for something, but I don't know what.
You'll figure it out.
I was saving up for a canoe, but my friend Patrick kind of ruined that saving up for me. He calls me up after I tell him and said, "Come over to my house tomorrow. I got a canoe for you."
Good deal.
Dan says, Swampy, you're doing a great job making them bills.
Yep.
Yeah, do you
Pops?
hang them in the dryer or do you put them in the dryer?
If you
Or do you
put
hang
them
them
in the dryer, you put them in the dryer, they get worn better.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yes. One of the ladies I clean for, when I do her laundry, she is so bad about putting stuff in the pockets of her house coat and never taking it out. And she better be glad that I'm an honest person, because every week, I mean, there's $40 to $50. And so, like I said, she better be glad that I'm honest. Otherwise, I could make a good tip that week.
When you do laundry, Melissa, do you find like coins and little pieces of metal and little shards of nails in the laundry?
Our laundry, yes, from Robert's shorts and sweatpants, yes.
I
And
get in so
sometimes
much
little
trouble.
rocks.
Yeah.
And I'll say, Robert, please clean your pockets out because I don't check his pockets. I go ahead and dump it right in the wash.
Oh, Sherry does. Sherry does. She's learned to go through my pockets. We've been through too many washers and dryers. And they make them, they're all made so cheap these days. So they
Yeah.
break. I think we've been through 3 washing machines and 2 dryers since she and I got together, and we've only been together for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called planned obsolescence.
Yep. Well, if you want a washer or a dryer, buy a Speed Queen. Made in America, made in Wisconsin. You'll pay for it, but you're buying quality too. And when you got a 7-year warranty coming out of the factory, yeah, it's probably gonna last.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the laundromats use. The laundromats all use Speed Queens, so we've got residential
Yes,
Speed
Dan.
Queens in the house now. Now I'm not so worried about breaking them, but I could break them. I could break them. I can break anything. I break shovels right while I'm doing live digs.
My
Shovel
dad
break.
used to say, "Well, you could tear up a crowbar."
Yep.
Yep, I heard that several times growing up. Yep.
Those of you that have not entered the
Yeah.
hashtag SRN for the
Yeah.
giveaway,
We're
I
going to
think
do
we're
that
going
here
to.
about 15 after. In about 4 minutes, we're going to go
Yep.
ahead and get that.
I entered mine.
Okay, good deal. But
I
yes,
think.
hashtag SRN, which stands for Swamp Rat Nation. Those of you
Yep.
not familiar with Swampy, go over and check him out.
I'd
Swamp Rat
say
Nation.
Everyone.
I think
is
everyone
familiar
is.
with Swampy.
Hey, Mark.
Pretty
Thanks
much.
for joining us.
Every once in a while, I'm still growing. This morning I was at 659 subscribers, so I'm
Sweet.
growing. Last December I had 39 subscribers and no intention of actively making a YouTube channel. I started making videos, and then those darn guys, that darn Shane from Ohio River History, got a hold of me with that whole Monday Digs thing. And
You're a likable chap, Swampy.
Yes.
I've been going ever since. Every Monday I put out a new video, or at least I try to. But it's so hard to be consistent.
Sometimes it is, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It is hard to be consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, there's times I get home from work, I don't want to edit.
I've gotten better, but every once in a while I'll have something health-wise that I'm not up to editing. I've got 2 hours of footage today from being out on the canoes, so look at that. Everybody's putting up their Cover for Life number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would enjoy a canoe.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get one.
Robert's wanting to get one, and it's just
They're
something we've
fun.
not thought heavily about, but I think I would enjoy it.
About it.
Yeah.
If I
Well-
catch one somewhere, I'm going to.
If you find a used one that needs some fiberglass work, let me know, and I'll try to find a way up to West Virginia to come fix a canoe.
There you go.
I think I'd like to have one of the aluminium.
Very
What
nice.
would you recommend, Swampy, when it comes to a canoe?
It's personal.
Is it? Okay.
It's really Coleman makes a really good one that's like a yellow, or not yellow, it's like orange, but it's a synthetic. It's not fiberglass. And that thing, if you're going to take it into rivers, my brother had one when we were growing up. You can beat that thing against rocks all day and you'll never tear a hole in it.
Really?
So I would look at the Coleman ones. They're pretty tough, and I know they make a square back one, so you can drop a trolling motor on there. And I know how Robert likes those motors on the backs of things. You put a gas trolling motor on there, I could see Robert leaning back like this.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys,
We got.
Tony, I think you're just joining hashtag SRN for the giveaway, because we are going to get ready and do that. Hey,
yeah.
Shane, Ohio River History, he made
That's
it.
that's my cover number right there, 111.
Yep. Yep. But
I
we'll
got-
give everyone
Just another minute.
just another minute to
Throw in there
hashtag SRN.
in there, and we'll
Yep, we'll get
See,
going on that
I
giveaway.
got three of a kind. I got three of a kind.
You're right, Dan. I would be holding on for dear life.
Nah,
Yep.
Hey, Joel.
but she doesn't know how to swim, so
I do not know how to swim.
have to make
I
sure
do
she
not.
has a life vest.
Make
on. And
sure
then
you got a life
still,
jacket on.
she thinks she'll sink with a life vest on, and I'm like, Melissa, that's what they're made for. I don't care what, you're not going to sink with a life vest on.
No.
So
I was pushed in a swimming pool in the deep end when I was like 8 years old. And so I've always just had a fear. So when the last time I was in a pool was,
well, you know what? I almost drowned
I know you
down
did.
in Florida.
Yeah, Robert almost drowned
We were
in
on
the ocean.
when I was just
Hey,
probably
Fostering Treasure.
6 years old. We were over on the Gulf side, and I had climbed up on some rocks and fell back in the water, and the undertow grabbed me and pulled me out, and this
That's
guy
dangerous.
jumped in and saved me and walked on off. So I always said he was my guardian angel, because he come out of nowhere and then just left and never said nothing.
Yep. Thing about it is he had his brothers.
Yeah, I had two brothers right there trying to get to me, and neither one of them could get to me. So
Wow.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, but I
Yes,
love
Mary, I
I
do.
love the water. I mean,
They're kind of flat right now.
it never scared me. That experience didn't, because I
Yeah.
absolutely love getting in the water. And
Water's always been part of my life. You know, when I lived inland, I lived up in Utah for a while, and I don't like the desert. I lived in southern Utah for a while, and it's just too hot and dry, and there's no water to go to.
Yep.
It is, Shannon. I've never got caught in an undertow though.
That's right, Mona. It was an angel that saved him because
Yeah,
the person
that's
just
what I
walked
always-
away.
at least I always feel that way. I mean, because they, and I always ask Mom about it. She said he just walked away. I mean, never said nothing. Only thing I remember is I remember my brothers trying to get to me. I can remember that. And next thing I know, he was there and he was telling me, just calm down, put your arms around my neck and everything will be okay. So
There you
I had
go.
a neighbor girl push me in her pool. And yeah, I didn't know how to swim at the time, but I ended up going under and swimming under the water because I could do that. But if I didn't know how to do that, who knows? I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. She was a mean little thing.
Yep.
She knew I couldn't swim.
Yeah.
well, I could swim at the time, but when you get in that, there's what I can remember of it was I can remember it pulling me straight down to the straight under.
Mhm.
And I remember coming back up, and then it kind of got blurry after that, other than the fact that I remember him telling me to calm down and everything would be okay.
I try to stay out of the water down here in Florida for the most part.
There's sharks in the water down
I
there.
don't like gators. No,
Yeah.
gators. I'm too far. I'm 50 miles from the coast, so we don't get sharks in our water.
Yeah, I went to the swimming holes. I never saw a gator in any of them, but
Well, the spot I was at today, I get back and I ended up taking 2 runs out because I filled up the canoe. I had to go back, drop everything off at the car, and then go back out. Well, when I went back in, I was talking to the people at the airboat tours, and the lady told me, "Oh, that spot that you're at, be careful up there. There was a 14-foot alligator up there last week. Unfortunately, the homeless guy living underneath the bridge decided to go swimming with it and ended up dying.
Hmm.
And they had to destroy the gator, but all that means is another one's going to go take its place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sad, but I always tell people, don't go swimming where there's gators that aren't afraid of people. They should be afraid of people. If they're not afraid of me when I'm on that canoe, there is something wrong.
Well, guys,
Let's do this giveaway. Real
it
quick.
is 9:19. Let's do the giveaway.
Yep.
Hashtag SRN 10,
10. Oh, 9.
8,
7.
6,
Oh, when you're going to run it? I'm all confused.
4,
3.
2.
1.
Good luck, everybody.
We got 46 entries.
46 entries.
Nice.
Good luck. See who's gonna win tonight.
Of course, if it's someone that's already won recently,
Mona.
Mona. Congratulations, Mona.
We do not have her
Congrats, Mona.
information, do we?
No, we don't.
So,
Mona, send us your address.
Clark's Cove Detecting at gmail.com.
Yes.
It's ticker taping along the
Yeah.
bottom there. If you can read it.
Lowercase, all squished together.
And you're going to get a
I think Mona is still in. I seen her just seconds ago.
Let's make sure.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
too long ago. Just a minute ago.
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
There
was.
she
There
is.
she
Yes.
is.
Congratulations,
What?
Mona. You won.
Yep. And what you won is you've got a 1898.
Take away that and make you big.
Yeah, hold on. You're going to get an 1898 IHP, one of the uncirculated Michelangelo new quarters, a poker chip, one of the CCD poker chips.
Oh, don't faint. Let me get the smelling salts real quick.
A couple of Wheaties and definitely a nice sticker pack
Yep.
we're going to throw together.
We'll send you
on
some
that
channel
and throw you
stickers
some
and-
channel stick and some
and
other
you know
stickers and you need to let me know because I know she is not a cover.
She is not
She
a
did not-
cover.
So would you like your Pledge for Life sticker or your Prospect for Life sticker? Let me know and just email me at clarkscovedetecting@gmail.com and
We'll get that out.
we'll
to
get
you.
that stuff out to you. And I've got to get Toby Bobo's sticker
Yes.
out to him. But yeah, let me know if you want a Prospect or Pledge.
We will, Mary. We'll make sure Mona gets one of your stickers.
Yes, because you sent me plenty of them.
So let me write this
Congratulations.
down. So Mona, we will be looking for your mailing address.
So yeah, like I said, clarkscovedetecting@gmail.com. And that's all lowercase and all squished together.
Yes. So congratulations, Mona.
And we can get
Congrats,
that out
Mona.
to you.
I want to tell digging up the Carolinas that bull sharks are showing up in the freshwater in Florida. A lot of people don't know that bull sharks, the larger they are, the farther up freshwater they can go. Full-size grown adult bull shark can swim and live in complete fresh water.
They ain't coming up
First-
this far.
Wow.
The first recorded shark attacks, as we all know, happened here in New Jersey. And originally, at the time, they thought it was like, a tiger shark or a great white because they didn't know. It was actually a bull shark.
Nice.
I'm not surprised that they're swimming in the fresh water in Florida. If there's
Yeah, I don't
Water
think they
goes
get
to
up
the
as
ocean,
far
they
as
can
I
swim.
am, though. I don't think they get up
They
quite
can.
that far. I mean, they could, but they
yeah, if
got
the
to
water's deep enough, they can.
I don't know.
they got to get past the St. Johns River. I mean, if I was down in the St. Johns, I might see them because St. Johns River is weird. It flows the wrong direction. It goes
Danger.
north.
Yeah, it goes north instead of south. Yeah.
Yep.
Digging up the
going this way.
Carolinas.
It's weird because St. John's going this way while the Kissimmee River
I
is
don't
going
think
this
so.
way.
Digging up the Carolinas, send us your mailing address
Yep.
and we will get you some stickers.
And Mona,
What-
if you
what
can't decide if you want the Pledge for Life, I'll just choose for you. If
And
you
it'll
can't-
be a surprise.
which puts you in the running to
They
be
keep
a
thinking.
when the new cover stickers come out. We don't know when that's going to be. Probably end up being next year sometimes. But when I do the new cover stuff,
Yep.
you'll be one of the first new covers in that
Yep.
community. So, oh yeah,
Ooh.
We love you too, Mona.
Mark Thomas made it so I can't go to the bathroom anymore.
What?
Uh-oh.
He said they'll come right
keep
up into your
digging.
toilet bowl, Ray Ray.
I don't believe that.
Now I
Leave
got to
it
worry
to
about
Mark
that.
Thomas.
Look what I got right on my desk.
there we go.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got mine in my drawer over here because I still don't figure out where I'm going to put all my stickers.
There we go. Who is Joe Bob Ray? he's still on vacation.
Yeah. Thank the
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the Goat Man was sending something out to him not too long ago.
Yeah. His he's trying to get that tree poop emporium
Yep.
back up
Back
and
up and
running.
running.
I showed him what I was going to do with it. I was going to turn it into a housing project.
That was funny. Oh, that stuff is so much fun, though. I have so much fun with Jeff. He is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, he is.
He's one of those. I want to take a trip out to Colorado to go meet him.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yes, we have talked about that with him some time ago, but time gets by, life kicks in. Yeah.
Seems
It's
like
Sam
every
right
time I
now,
have
he's-
plans, something comes up.
And right now, our big issue with traveling is our little dog.
And he's getting older, and he
Oh.
is really starting to show his age here in
Yeah.
the past couple of months. I'm afraid his eyesight is starting to, because he can't hear, but I think now his eyesight's starting to go
Yeah,
on him. So
we're noticing little things. So he's difficult to travel with
yeah, so
because he wants he to be held all the time, and he
Right.
wants to be with you, and so
yes, tree poop happens, Joel.
Hey, the Tree
Yes,
Poop
Cynthia.
Emporium has Wi-Fi. So I've been told.
Yeah.
I don't think it works any better than the Wi-Fi in my house.
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to go there. Because here they cut our phone service off because they come out here and finally fix the lines that were laying in the creek since June 17th.
yes,
And they just got them fixed. And so the boy, I'm down there, we stopped down there. I
third
said,
party. He
"Did
was a third
you-
party.
are you all the ones that cut the phone off?" And he's like, "You all had service up there?" And I'm like,
Yes.
"Yeah." And he's like, "I was told you there was no service on these lines going up through there." I'm like, "Yeah, there is." He's like, "I'm sorry about that. So you all have to call a technician to come out and reconnect your lines."
Hey,
So
James,
it took them 3 days to
get that done.
get out here and do that. So yeah, we're kind of behind on videos and stuff.
Yes,
for
we're
people.
behind on a lot of things, so please forgive us,
Yeah.
everyone. We will.
Hey, Beard. Let's see.
I'm always
Get caught up.
behind. I can't catch up. There's too many people to watch.
There are a lot, aren't there?
Hi, James. I gotta send this to James. I want to see if he'll make me a knife out of the baby.
I'll write that down, Shannon. MITEX.
Big spike.
Now, what is it?
MITEX. It's for ears.
Oh,
I'm writing that down right now.
Do what? Huh? Ears?
Our
for
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, we will.
We want to thank
But yeah,
everyone for
he's-
joining us this evening. It
he's
has been a
what,
blast.
16 years old. So I mean, he's getting old.
Yes,
Sam.
he is. Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
But we've had there's still 31 people.
Yes, that's
in
what I was
here.
gonna
We've had
say.
a
We-
great evening.
Before I was so rudely interrupted, I was getting to that we've still got 31 watching us, and Robert, he goes back into the other conversation, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's just how we do things around here.
But yes, we have had a blast this evening,
Yeah, we
and
have.
Swampy, it's been a pleasure
you.
listening to you and all your hobbies and everything that you do. We'd love to be able to meet up with you sometime, and
One of these days.
one of these days.
One of
yes,
these days,
absolutely.
I got a trip eventually I need to take. Unfortunately, right now medical
Thanks,
stuff
Paul.
is taking precedent, so I can't really leave. Not so much mine. I'm in great health, guys, but my fiance's got some medical issues that are keeping me a little closer to home right now. I got to
We
take care of
understand.
her. Got to take care of family first.
Yep, absolutely. That's how come we took a couple of weeks off. We just needed to do some Robert and Melissa things.
Yeah, I was itching to get out on the trails and do some riding and creek riding, and we had a blast 2 weekends in a row.
2 weekends in a row.
And,
Yep.
just
Nice.
went out to
See you, Don. Thanks
went
for
out to
joining
dinner
us.
a couple of times, and just Bob and Melissa time. that
Yeah.
we tend to
We
not
tend
do
to
it
Tend
for
to
the-
ignore those things.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob.
welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for joining us.
You
So
missed
you
out.
got the dishes done, huh?
I got to go dirty some dishes up. I got to figure out what I'm
Thank
going to
you,
make for
Shannon.
dinner.
We had rotisserie, not listen at me, rotisserie chicken. We put chicken in the smoker, and then we had
Hey.
our first.
You taking
Green
out
beans.
Chicken Man's family again?
Yeah, Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was a cousin.
a fat
It
cousin.
was a fat one too.
Oh,
But yeah, we had our first mess of green beans from the garden today.
Yep.
That was
I did green beans and potatoes. Yes.
Yes, fresh
I
potatoes.
saved when we dug our potatoes. I saved all the little tiny ones. It's like the size of a, well,
Large
you know,
marble or
yeah,
golf ball or
yeah. And I love to
Those
put those in
with
green beans.
those boil up so nice.
Yes, they do. And I love just to boil them in salted water and then squish them and put butter all
on 'em.
over them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Through
I
the
had
lips and
pancakes.
to the hips.
I had pancakes. That was my dinner.
What did you
Think
have,
about
Rachel?
Pancakes from IHOP.
Oh,
Pancakes.
I love
Yeah, but they were
pancakes.
this featured flavor this round. They were cinnamon roll or something.
Ooh.
That
Yeah.
sounds
They don't
good.
just make pancakes.
No, usually I just eat plain old pancakes, but every now and then
Yeah.
you gotta have the flavored ones. So
No,
they were
I'm gonna go make bacon and eggs. That's what I'm gonna
Oh,
do.
I had
We gotta
Nick
get
had it.
started.
My
We gotta
friend
get
and I
started
split
on
a
food,
bacon
don't we?
omelet.
my
Yep.
mouth is starting to salivate now when he said bacon.
Oh yeah.
I love
Oh,
Breakfast food is always good
yes,
for
my
supper, dinner,
favorite food
whatever.
is breakfast food. If I had to pick one favorite food, it's breakfast food.
Absolutely.
Bacon is not breakfast food. Bacon is anytime food.
Yes.
You are right.
Everything is better with bacon.
I will
Yeah.
make up bacon. I will dry the stuff off and cool it down so that it doesn't have any oil on it. I will put it in a Ziploc bag and I will carry that in my pocket out detecting. Who needs beef jerky when you got some fried bacon in your pocket?
There you go. Okay, Mary, do you have any leftovers?
Yeah,
Meatloaf,
meatloaf,
No, I
mashed
was just telling- I
potatoes,
was
and
just-
broccoli.
Sounds
I was just
good.
commenting back to her. That sounds yummy. That's how I serve my meatloaf with mashed potatoes and broccoli.
Potato onions.
Yeah. And of course, talking about breakfast food, Shane with Ohio River Histories in here. I just have to say he can put it away. For a little guy, he can put it away.
Yes.
Somebody wanted tamales. Texas Tamale Company. I get these things at the base, and they're the best tamales I've ever had. That was one of the nice things that happened 2 years ago. All disabled veterans now have access to the military bases commissary.
Angie and Rick, that sounds good too. I
It
don't think you
does.
all live too far away. We could probably be
They
there.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't live too far from you. We were talking about it the other night. They're real
Yeah, we
close.
need to hook up with them. We talked about that here a while back, but
Yeah.
you know,
Things just
things go. But
You got to
We'll
be
get
quick
together
because
sometime.
Angie and Rick will be snowbirding down my way before too long.
sweet.
yeah, I'd like to get back to Florida. You know, I'd like to go to another Florida hunt. We went to 7, but we missed this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's going to be in Florida. I got a message from Greg recently, and it looks like he's looking for other locations, maybe up in the Carolinas.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
heard
well, they've held that event at the same place, so after a while, it gets that
Oh,
really
there's
is humping.
plenty. There is
Yeah,
plenty
I agree,
to find
Rachel.
with that property. I'll tell you, because if I was to go out there again, if they did Florida Hunt 9 at that same property, I'm going out. I'm leaving my detector and I'm going bottle digging because I know where there's bottle dump out there.
Ah.
Yeah.
You know that Coca-Cola bottle that you've got, Rachel, that I sent you?
Yeah.
That came from that property.
Oh, all right. I think I have it right here.
That's a Florida Hunt bottle.
Yeah.
Yep. That came out of the bottle dump I found out at Florida Hunt 8.
Yeah, it's a nice bottle.
And there's more of them out there. Let's see. There's my Pepsi one. This one needs cleaned.
Oh, I had one just like that. I
Oh.
gave it to
Oh,
Gibby's
look at
friend.
that.
was
I
sweet.
think Cynthia said it's 1979. Cynthia Swearingen is the bottle expert.
She's an expert on everything.
Oh, do I still have it?
She is. She is a
No, I
wealth
don't.
of knowledge.
Oh yeah. I love her. She's so fun to hang out with too.
She was my hunting partner at Florida Hunt 7,
yeah.
and we never got to hook up with her when she was in West Virginia. Just
This last time.
This
But we
last
did the
time.
last time.
but we
She-
did last
with her and
year.
her
Yeah,
grandson. We had a
Yeah.
good day that day.
we had a good day. Yes, we did.
It was hotter than Blue Blazes though.
Well,
that
it was
day.
hot this time, and that, yeah. Whew.
And we're we're going to try to get out tomorrow. I don't know. It's supposed to be 93 here tomorrow, so
Whoa.
I don't know if we're going to get out and go detecting.
We
or
may
not.
wait till
Maybe.
next weekend.
later.
That's why I didn't go today. Today
If
was my
it's
first
90
day of my vacation. It was 90, like 95. Nah.
If it's 93, I'm going out because it's probably going to be 98 tomorrow.
It's in February, Angie and Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know when we left out of here back last year to go to it, we was in the middle of the ice storm.
Yeah, the big
man.
ice
Everything
storm.
around
Oh.
here was covered in ice. So it was, well, are we going to go or are we going to sit here all weekend with no electricity and nothing to do? And then we'd sit and say, well, we should have went to Florida. So we ended up
Yeah.
going to Florida and had a good time.
Had a good time. Yes,
Absolutely.
we did.
It was wore out, but had a great time.
Yep,
Yeah, 15 hours down there. That was a long drive.
it was.
That was.
Yeah.
Plus, we got lost right there. As soon as we got right there, and we missed the
Yeah,
meet-
we got turned
we
around.
got when we pulled in the parking lot there where they were having the meet and greet. There was a couple of people still standing around there that we hollered at, but
Didn't know them.
didn't know
But
them.
we hollered
we
at 'em.
hollered at them. Yeah,
They probably thought we were the Clampets coming in.
I said if we had to go back, I'd do it in 2-day drive
Yep.
instead of one. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, what time is it? It's
It
oh,
is
sure.
9:36.
We still have
We have 20 people.
but yeah, we're going to probably get ready and
Oh.
start winding this
Yeah.
down. And
Yeah, I got to go make bacon and eggs.
Oh, yeah, rub
I'm-
it in there,
I'm not so
Swampy.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
slice up
yeah.
some I'm gonna chop up some potatoes, and I usually take my potatoes, I cut them up, I stick them in the water, I boil them, and then I pull them out after about 5 minutes, and I fry them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. I forgot you broke down on your way back home and ended up having to stay. I forget where he was at, but like a week. Remember that?
I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yes. And I know he remembers it well.
Yeah.
I love fried potatoes and eggs. Just fried potatoes, eggs, and toast.
Onions.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ramps.
Yep.
When the ramps come in
Yep.
season. Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. My stomach is.
Hey,
growling.
digging up the Carolinas. Stop it. I'm going to eat my cat. I'll tell you what.
Oh,
I've
please
got
don't eat
8
your
of them
cat.
for you. I have 8 of them here. You are welcome
Get a
to them.
hairball.
If digging up the Carolinas really wants to eat a cat, I've got a couple of them that you can have. There's a couple of them I won't let him mess with. Our oldest one, she hates me. She pees on my shoes, but
Uh-oh.
she stopped doing that, and now suddenly she wants to be my best friend all the time. I think she's getting old and senile.
Thanks, Mona.
Yeah, mine is old and senile. She's 18.
Oof.
Yeah.
Tells me her bowl's empty when there's food in it.
Yeah, that's Annabelle. She sits and does her Jedi mind trick on you and sits there and
Tries to.
stares at you and stare at that bowl. And I'm like, it's got food in it, and she'll like
She'll make a little hole in the middle of it.
Yeah, if there's a little hole, if she can see the bottom of the bowl, it's empty.
It's empty. Yeah.
Yep.
He was waiting right outside the door for me to open the door.
Oh, he heard you say bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter what I say. If I'm anywhere I am, this guy is right there. If I'm not around, he will sit and wait for me to get home. He's usually with me 90% of the time. He's fully trained service dog, so
Okay.
he's my balance. Right, dude? Sit.
That's great. That is
He's a good
great.
boy.
Yeah, we don't know how old Annabelle is. Honestly,
No.
we guessed that she's probably around maybe 14 or 15.
Go.
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, but we really don't know how old she is because she was a barn cat when we moved up here. She was living down there in the barn,
Yeah.
and
She's a full-blown house cat
oh
now.
yeah, she most of the time she don't even want to go outside anymore. It's
Mm-mm.
it's stay inside cat now. She's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the cats don't come in this room. This is my room. It's off limits to cats.
now she pretty well has the run of the house. She's good. She's a good cat. She uses her litter box well, and she doesn't mess with anything. She's staying in the storage room right now. She took up residence in there, and who knows how long she'll be in there, and then she'll move somewhere else and stay. And
Yeah.
you never know where she's going to be at. So
And,
Yep,
she-
and she hears us talking. She come
yeah,
in here.
she had
See?
to come right
Yeah.
everybody
yes,
got the
guys.
animals coming.
I see she boils extra potatoes, then cuts them up into home fries, and then fry them and scramble
You're all
eggs.
gonna have to quit about the
Oh.
See? That's
And
what I'm
toast.
doing for dinner.
But
That's
yes,
dinner
guys,
for me.
it's been a
It's
great
been a
evening,
great
and we
evening.
have enjoyed each and every one of you. And we want to thank all of you that joined us this evening.
Yeah, and anyone out there that if you're not familiar with Swamp Rat Nation, please go over and check him out and give him a subscribe and a
Yes,
thumbs
you
up.
won't be
and
disappointed.
share his videos out. You will not be disappointed. And always check out Rachel.
Jersey Ray
I'll get
Dix.
it here.
And these guys.
Wednesday night shenanigans and
Thank you, Swampy and
Yes.
Rachel. Rachel, you got anything going on with your channel you want to talk about?
Wednesday night, as you know, I did the thank you to everybody for supporting my channel to get to 500, and I think I don't know, 15 away from 6.
Sweet.
It moves so fast.
Yeah, it's been a slow roll.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Slow and steady sets the pace, though.
but
There
it's
you go.
exponential. It slowly starts to pick up speed if you're consistent. That's what I've
Yeah.
noticed.
No, I'm fine where I'm at. I just wanted the community tab. That's
Thanks,
all.
Cynthia.
Yeah. And I'm not in a rush either.
Love you too, Angie and Rick.
I'm just gonna go have fun.
Yep.
If it grows, it grows. If people want to come out with me and see what I do and see how much fun I'm having.
We enjoy
Everybody
your
welcome.
live streams when you magnet fish, Swampy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in a few. I couldn't chat because I was at work, and I would just turn it on and let it play for a bit in between.
I like
days.
doing that format for magnet fishing more than I like making the videos. I like because it's so hard for me to hold the camera. I can just set the camera up. The new mount that I've got for the boat, looks like it's working. I just tested it today. I built myself a canoe mount. I can set up the canoe mount and turn on a live, and I have to ignore everybody. I won't really be able to chat with everybody because I'll be on the opposite end of the boat, but I think it's going to work well.
Oh, and then also about a week or two ago, Shannon Dalton and I found out that we're probably very distant, but we're probably cousins because we're both are descended from the Dalton gang.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. I don't know how far apart cousin wise we are, but we share a lot of-
Outlaws.
We're like, we come to find out after we even got married that we were like, what, 10th, 11th cousins
Yeah.
or
And speaking of the
Something like
Dalton
that.
gang,
Ew.
my mother's side of the family are tied in with the James
The
brothers,
brothers,
Frank
yeah.
and Jesse James. I used to have a bed made by Frank James.
Oh,
And yeah,
Yeah, because see, after they robbed Heritage Station in
In
Huntington,
Huntington.
he come out to East Lynn and kind of hung out there
Yeah.
for a while, made furniture in the area. And her dad was a big antique collector. And I don't remember exactly. He told the story how he got a hold of that bed. But
it was a rope
it was
bed,
one of the
but
old
it was
rope beds.
handmade. The headboard and slats and footboard was
But didn't
all.
have slats. It had rope.
It had rope, but there were slats that underneath of the ropes for support. If you
Man,
remember.
we just opened up another can of worms with family history. I could go on for days. My dad was huge on genealogy, and I got that bug from him and kind of carried on the figuring out what my family's origins were.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can go on for days.
Yeah.
Just an example, I am 10th generation U.S. military. 10
Okay.
consecutive generations of U.S. military. My son is generation 11. So that's a
Wow.
pretty big boast. But our first ancestor that was U.S. military, he was 2nd Massachusetts Militia. Battle of Lexington and Concord. First shots fired of the Revolution.
Wow.
Now, my mom and dad did a lot of genealogy when they was alive. I never did get into it, but I know we never had anyone that fought was ever in military. I know he did find where there was a couple of that hid out during the Civil War so they wouldn't have to fight. They went and lived in a cave somewhere. I remember he found the information about it.
Well, and West Virginia tried to stay neutral. That
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
thing. The people in West Virginia tried to stay neutral during that war. And
Yes, we did.
unfortunately, you kind of got drawn into it either one side or the other. If it wasn't for
Yeah.
the Civil War, there wouldn't be a West Virginia.
But I know, West Virginia kind of helped out a little bit on both sides,
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, we never had any, to my knowledge, anyone that ever fought or was ever really military. So some moonshiners. He found out we did have some moonshiners in our family.
Woo-hoo!
I guess that's why I like moonshine. So
Huh. Yeah, it's in the bloodline, isn't it?
yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
so to speak. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
everybody,
funny.
once again, we are so glad that you all joined us, and we're going to let you all get back to your evening and your
Yes.
cooking.
Yeah,
And
it's
Swampy,
going on 10
thank you
o'clock.
so much for being a guest. We
Yeah, it was a
have
pleasure.
really enjoyed it. And of course, always it's a pleasure having Rachel.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
She is a
Absolutely.
cool host, that is for sure, and a good friend.
Co-host. Well, I hate that word.
I hate
co-host.
that.
She's
I
the
hate that.
host
Yeah, I
too,
know.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
I consider us equivalent myself.
Oh, yeah.
The hostess with the mostest.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yes, Drummond, detect that magic mason jar.
Yeah.
But once again, everybody, thank you for joining us, and you all have
Yeah.
a great evening. And I think we're going to call it a night so
Yeah.
everyone can get out there and cook.
Yeah. In fact, Swampy, I know you're wanting to go fix something to eat, so we're going to go ahead and bump you out
Hey,
of here.
Willie, thank you for
All right.
joining us.
And thanks for being our guest tonight here
Yes,
at the Conversations at the Cove.
Yep. we
We've
really
had a great-
appreciate it.
We've had a great time. Hey, Tin Man.
I've had a blast.
Yep. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
having me.
stopping
And we'll
in
have to get together. We'll touch base with you on some more of that
the
seasoning mix.
seasoning. Oh, yeah.
We still have some, but we'll get with you.
Yep.
You're gonna need more.
Thank you, Mona.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks, Don.
You're welcome.
See ya.
Rachel, it's been
Hey.
fun.
It's been fun.
We're not going to hang out none tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to
Hit the hay.
hit the hay because I don't know yet if we're going to get out and go detecting in the morning or not.
We're gonna plan that we are, but yeah.
whether it actually works out that way or not, who knows? And if it doesn't, it'll all be good.
Digging up the Carolinas. It is Clark's Cove Detecting at gmail.com.
Yeah, all lowercase,
No
all
spaces.
squished together.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go over. I don't know if I have it on my about section. I honestly do not know if I have it on my about section on our page.
I don't
or not.
either. I don't know.
That's
That's
something
sad.
I'm going to have to check into.
Yeah, something
And
that's
so-
easy enough to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it is.
But yeah, Rachel, thanks for joining us
Yes.
tonight. And everyone, always be sure to go over and check out
Always a blast.
her Wednesday nights.
And we'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm
Did
going to
you see my new
bump.
stickers?
Woohoo!
I kind of think I'll make the circle ones this big and keep the square ones this small.
Yeah, I see. I got you.
In
Yeah.
fact, I need you to send me
Yeah, I gotta send you some.
Yeah.
some extras for giveaways and stuff because
Yeah.
I think give them all.
We
out.
may have one or two.
I might have one or two
I
left.
don't know.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm making a trip out to Ohio.
Okay. Keep us updated.
Yeah, because I'll be leaving either Labor Day or the day after. I might swing down and then come back home.
Okay. Yep.
Sounds good.
So
Yeah.
thank you
Yes.
for joining us this evening, and we'll see you Wednesday.
It's been a fun night.
Yes, it has been a
Yeah.
fun
It
night.
went by too fast.
Yes, it did.
For our first night back in 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Well, it's the third weekend.
but 2
but
weeks.
2 weeks,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. if you want to get technical.
But thanks, Rachel.
Good night, Rachel.
We'll talk to
You're
you
always
later.
welcome. All right.
Bye. All right. I see we still have 11 people in here. We want to thank all you all for joining us
Yes.
tonight. It's been fun hanging out with Swampy and Rachel. They're always good.
Always good company to have.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And everyone in here is good company to have.
Absolutely.
And next weekend, we will be back at 8 o'clock
Yes, we
with
will.
another couple guest
Yes, we have a
that I
couple.
think everyone's really going to enjoy that
Yep.
one. Yeah, I want to thank, they know who they are. They wasn't in here tonight.
No, they weren't.
They'll be with us next weekend.
Yeah,
so
they
you're all,
will.
everyone's going to like that. So be sure to check us out next Saturday night here at the command center. We will be here
Yes, we will.
8
With
o'clock
bells on.
with bells on. So yeah, everyone have a good night. Be safe if you're out detecting tomorrow, going out
Yes.
anywhere. Be safe on the roads. And,
Good luck.
Good luck, and may your finds be gold and silver. And
Absolutely.
that old coin that you've been looking for, that bucket lister, whatever it may be. Hopefully you'll find it and share it with everyone.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm rambling.
That ain't nothing new.
Nothing. Nah. So we'll leave them with what? What do you want to leave them with?
If you lose it,
we
we
find
find
it.
it.
And we'll see you all on that next good.
Cover finds.
Thanks for joining everyone. Y'all
Night,
have a good
everybody.
weekend.